everybody, and welcome back to the New Nasty Boys. I'm your co-host this morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you decide to listen to this thing. And sitting next to me is...
Chris Weir. I'm right here, next to Billy. Sometimes, right now.
Right now.
And other times.
And most of the time. Mm-hmm. And we're not at the Devore Emporium. We're not at 1.0, 2.0. We're not at the Devore Care. Where are we?
We're in the Weir basement right now. We're sitting at the Weir bar. It's kind of like a new little area we're working on.
So you don't have a nickname for the house or for the basement yet?
We really don't. We don't have any nicknames so far.
Oh man, Weir Posium. You've got
we got the Weir Den.
Weir Den's pretty cool.
We got the Fart Cavern.
Fart Cavern's just what I call my asshole.
Okay, yeah, there's that. There's the Nipple Estate.
The Nipple Estate?
Yeah.
What about the Nipple Manor?
The Nipple Manor, we can do that. The Bluegrass Room. Okay. I don't know. Kentucky Base. We'll come up with something.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
You know, we don't need to force it, man.
Yeah. It'll eventually come. We'll let it come naturally.
But we're here. Chris painted that. If you're watching on YouTube, that's Chris. That's pretty awesome.
Some old artwork from college.
It is for sale for $10 million. Mm-hmm. Very reasonable asking price.
I'll negotiate a little bit.
Yeah, 9.9.
Yeah.
9.95.
If you buy both of them at the same time, I'll come down a little bit.
Just a touch. So, yeah, thanks for having me over and showing that this setup can be portable.
Yeah, it can work, man. I'm glad to have you over here. I'm glad to have you guys over here. Really excited.
We're in it. We unplugged Chris's fish tank, so his fish might die in the hour we have to do this.
No, he didn't. They're plugged in. They're totally plugged in.
They're fine.
That's why the audio is crisp and it doesn't sound like anyone's urinating.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. Like if you would have guessed, it would just be us peeing into bags the whole time, which wouldn't be a first on this podcast. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it sounds like we had like a koi pond behind us, just off screen.
Oh, we could call this. The koi pond.
Koi pond?
The force net.
We'll work on it.
We'll figure it out. Mm-hmm. I'm not worried about it.
It's somewhere here. We don't know where it's at yet.
We'll find it. So how were you? You had a big weekend.
Yeah, I was in Chicago. Saw my first baseball game live this year at Chicago Cubs Stadium. It was fun at Wrigley. It was a wonderful time. Had a beer bat, which is actually just right up here. Had one of these bad boys and a nacho helmet. Yes, everything I consumed came in like some sort of like novelty sort of like tray or dish.
Oh, now I have to go get the helmet.
Oh yeah, that's right over there too. Yeah, I got a souvenir with everything I ate. So
see, this is the move.
I almost clogged the hotel toilet twice.
This is the 2-for-1, man.
Yeah, it was pretty nice, and they really filled it up. Like it was a ton of stuff, and they layered it appropriately. It wasn't just it was a ton of it was the kitchen sink they had in the nachos, sour cream, jalapenos, sauce, a ton of cheese, and they did it in layers and they stacked it. So it was quite the feat. It was like a fork and knife operation after a while. Now
the big question is, what other ballpark food / items could also be made into concessions / souvenirs?
Dude, I was just thinking, I'd like to see a bat and have like a big hot dog in there. It doesn't have to be liquid. I just imagine just eating a big hot dog out of that bat. You just like dump a bunch of ketchup and mustard in there. Oh, that'd be delightful.
Dude, just a giant corn dog built around the bat.
Ooh, that'd be good. If like the whole thing is made to look like a bat. Yeah. You just got to eat it out. And like it's a corked corn dog and you got the bat in there. That could be fun. Of course, you got the classic ice cream. Anything like that comes like in a spoon form. Yeah, the helmet's good for.
Sure. I feel like there's something we could do with the rubber, like
the pitching rubber.
Yeah. Like that you could flip it over and you could just have like tater tots and chili and cheese in there.
A big like Charleston chew. Yeah, something like that.
That's how you get your Cracker Jacks.
Yeah, or like a big like long Virginia Slim cigarette, something like that. Could done like a promo like that in the 50s.
Yeah, or it's just a giant trough of Skull Wintergreen.
It could be that, yeah. They can have that.
Just dipping rubber.
Yeah, dip and rubber, baseball bag. You can have the bags, have pizza in there.
Oh.
Pizza bags.
Well, they do have at Great American Ballpark now, when you get a large La Rosa's pizza from the concession, it is shaped like home plate.
Oh, really? That's clever. I like
very
that.
Cool.
That's
very
good.
Cute. Super fun. There's got to be something we're missing. I mean, instead of giving kids cotton candy, we can just give them needles and they can shoot up.
We can
anabolic sugar rush.
That would be good.
Yeah.
It's like the fun dip, like the needle thing. You just kind of like, stick it in the pouch, absorb whatever flavor you want. You stick it right in the back of a molar that isn't grown in yet.
Bend over, Timmy. You're getting some blue raspberry.
You're hitting 40.
Dude, I found this out. Some of my coworkers have been going to just a sketchy place and on Groupon, and they're getting B12 injections.
Is that like HGH?
No, like the B12 vitamin.
Is that good for you?
I guess. I don't know, but you can just go do this now. And I heard that and I was like, wait a minute. Miguel Tejada and Rafael Palmeiro both got suspended.
For that same thing?
For the same thing.
That can't be good. I mean, if it's on Groupon, you got to be like a little suspect of it.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't think anything that where you can like find like a nice little like group online thing where you then meet up with like a person you don't know.
Sure.
And you inject something into you. I don't think like that's going to be netting positive results.
No. Hey, let's go throw axes and then get B12 shots in our ass.
Yeah, the same guy works at those, both places.
He works with a lot of sharp stuff.
Yeah, I can't see that being good.
No, I can't either. So Wrigley, that wasn't your first time, right?
No, we've been there a handful of times, like 3 times maybe before. But yeah, it was good. Last one, I think the Reds lost. It was the Reds weren't playing obviously this time. They're playing Florida, and they were
the whole state, huh?
The whole state playing everybody. I mean, we barely stayed in our seats. We're walking around just getting beers and food. We got there before the game started, got to our seats, and then started walking around. By the time we got back to our seats, it was already like the 5th inning.
Yeah.
I mean, we could care less
about
the game. But it was fun, like the whole atmosphere.
Well, it's a historic landmark. You're going to enjoy it and soak it in.
Yeah.
And who gives a shit about the Cubs versus the Marlins? Sorry, I wouldn't. And I follow, them a little bit because they're the Cubs because they're in our division, and the Marlins because I like Sandy Alcantara. That's it. So I don't blame you.
Yeah, no one cared. Even the people on the field didn't care. Mascots didn't show up. They're like, we're sitting this one out. They called it their AAA dinosaurs. And then, so it wasn't like a high-stakes game.
No, Clark called in hungover.
Yeah. So, oh, man, dude, he was good, though. Like, they had him, like, beforehand, getting, like, the crowd warmed up. He's the bear. Like, the bear, he's got these nice sunglasses and a gold chain. Appealing to, like, a younger generation. Sure. But they're doing, like, out in the outfield before the game, him and, like, a helper dude tossing up, like, I think they're balls. I'm not quite sure. They're like, souvenir baseballs.
Sure.
And he's just, like, jacking them out into, like, the outfield. He's standing, probably, like, 30, 40 feet away from the wall, but he's hitting like these things that are no easy feat. He's just jacking them out.
Yeah, dude, what a guy! I was
really impressed. I mean, he made a new fan.
Well, Clark's already gotten a 40-game PED suspension.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, that head is large,
very big. Yeah, B12 shots actually.
Oh yeah. I mean, hair all over the face.
Got the deal on Groupon.
Yeah, that was a blast. Came out with some souvenirs.
And you're full.
I was extremely full. I was very full. Like, we were eating nachos. Like, I had to dump out nachos. That was so weird. I had my food. I was, like, in the bathroom, like, just dumping out nachos from that helmet into a trash can and then taking, like, it looked like I was wiping out, like, puke and throwing in the sink. And then I just took that and I wore it home.
Yeah. And it's big enough. Like, so I went to the game with John on Friday, and John, being a maniac, double fisting Hootie Delights to start, then upgraded to Crafties. And then he just looked at me, he's like, I'm hungry. I'm like, I bet you are.
I could see him double fisting like the helmet nachos.
Dude, it gets better.
Yeah.
He fucking went and he got a Sky Rosa in one hand, which I'm like, good for you.
Yeah, there you go.
The other hand, Skyline nachos.
Woo.
And he got him to put it in a mini helmet.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Great move. Gone in 3 minutes. I look over. He's like a goblin.
Helmet 2.
Yeah, he started taking bites out of it. I'm like, no.
Plastic chips going everywhere.
His teeth are all red, and it's not like from the plastic. It's blood.
It's just blood dripping.
Or the mix of the icy he had right before that.
Yeah, or the wintergreen skull he had tucked.
You know, John Holmes love his wintergreen. And then we proceeded to crawl back towards my house, and we went to a couple spots, and he left it at the last spot. He forgot his helmet.
Oh, no.
He was just walking around going to people like, smell my helmet.
Oh, no.
Does it smell like chili? And they're like, yeah.
Smells like chili.
Smells like chili. And you expect that from Chili Claus.
Yeah, you do.
But when we left, so here's what's interesting about that game on Friday. We leave the ballpark. We go over to In Between. And my phone buzzes, and it's a text from our friend Logan. He goes, look who Bass met, friend of the pod. I see the photo. It's Bass with the one and only Joseph Daniel Votto.
What? Where?
At the Woodward. He went and saw the band Fucked Up.
Oh, that's great.
Canadian band. So you know what I did? Immediately called a Lyft and said, on my way. Got out. We got as close as we could without hitting that crazy neon traffic on Main. Got out of the car, started running towards the Woodward. And I see my buddy who's a cop who I went to high school with, and he's right in front of a drinkery. He goes, Billy, what's up, man? I haven't seen you in a while. I was like, hey, man, where is he? He's like, what? It's like, where's Joey Votto?
I'm talking about no bullshit.
And he's like, he went that way. I went, thank you. He's like, he's looking for food. So I was like sprinting. I went all the way down to Arnold's. I didn't find him. We were going to go to Arnold's, and then we were like, we should probably give up on this. And then we took a little sweep of the block, seeing if he was like, Goodfellas, all this other stuff. Nothing. Lost the bogey.
Oh,
didn't get to see him again.
No dad.
And then we went to Longfellow, and John left his chili helmet.
Oh, man. That's a good story, though.
Yeah, it's a story of Canadian heartbreak, honestly.
Yeah. You lose your chili helmet, you'll lose a Joseph Daniel Votto. It happens.
It was worth the $11 Uber to go 6 blocks to find Joseph Daniel Votto.
That's good, though. I'm sure you worked off some calories, though. Your heart racing, running around.
Sure, absolutely. And I know John had a great time. So, but yeah, that was my Friday and my excursion at the ballpark.
Nice.
It was good.
Cool.
Yeah. So, well, what else? Did you get you got some deep dish? Did you do the typical?
No, not really. Like, I could take it or leave it. Like, I don't have like a hard stance on it. It just tastes more like lasagna to me, but that's as hard of a stance that I have on that pizza. But we did get a decent amount, but just like regular style.
Tavern style
pizza. We went to like one brewery that had its own like brick oven pizza. That was really good. The hotel we're staying at was nice, and they had some good pizza there. So yeah, we stayed fed the whole time.
There you go.
Yeah.
Did you get a Chicago dog?
We did. We got that was one of the things we got, like the big Vienna sausage.
Yeah,
that was nice. I think that was like the first meal we had inside the ballpark that day, and that just really, it greased the wheels.
There you go. Well, what do you think of the Chicago dog compared to like a cheese coney?
Well, cheese coney, that's going to have like a bit more nostalgia. It just resides in such a different category. I think if I'm going flavor, all that, something I look forward to more. Going to be the cheese coney, but the Vienna dog is something I really like too.
Really like the sport peppers and the celery salt and the.
Yeah, I didn't really doctor it up like that. I just went standard. We just got the dog plain. We're splitting, so we just threw ketchup and mustard on there, and I don't care. I love putting ketchup on my dogs.
Oh yeah, I forgot you were a child.
Yeah, I am. I love it. Give me that sweet sauce.
That sugary red sauce.
I need that sugary cold sauce for my hot dog. No, I fucking love it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm surprised you didn't go with the whole kit and caboodle.
Well, I think I spoiled myself the whole time we were there. So like I reeled it in a bit. Like I was like, I already got my fucking, I got my beer bat. I'm honing in on that nacho helmet. I was like, I can't just get like everything like that just pops in my head. So. You know what's really cool about being an adult? Yeah. You can do whatever you want. I know, you should have done it. I left more souvenirs that day than I ever did as a kid. See? It was terrific. It's the best part of growing up is you can hold on to your childhood sentiments and then follow through. Yeah, and drunk drive home. No, we Ubered. No, we took the L. Oh, yeah. L. Mm-hmm. And the Cubs took an L in that game, didn't they? I honestly don't know. That is the best way to know. Didn't really care. Didn't need to. Left right before the game was over, and I think I watched Shark Tank.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, we drank a lot more too before that.
That sounds wonderful. That's great. You were also at a ballpark where you didn't hear a commentator use a slur, so that's interesting, eh?
Yeah, I didn't hear that one, not live. I think I know the thing you're talking about, though. But,
the A's are the gift that keep on giving.
man, they're just really going for it.
If you're going to tank, you might as well not just tank on and off the field.
Yeah, they're hogging up all of the headlines there.
I mean, if you don't know, the play-by-play guy for the Oakland A's was talking about the Negro League Museum, and then he used a word that is close to Negro League, but you shouldn't say if you're a white guy. So there you go. That's how polite as possible I can say that.
Yeah, and the interesting thing, too, I'm not sure if the guy that was next to him was being as polite as possible and in a Jedi fashion, not reacting at all to that word, like for his buddy. I didn't hear it. I didn't hear that thing, but it seemed like he heard that word and there was zero flinch. It was just like, no, we've been saying this word all day, man. So that was also a disturbing feature of it. But yeah, man, the A's, they keep eating up all the headlines in the worst possible ways.
And that's Dallas Braden, ex-A's pitcher. He threw that no-no on Mother's Day. Still drunk.
Yeah, still drunk from that day.
Still drunk from the night before.
Yeah.
And then it's crazy that, another gaffe happens in the visiting booth in Kansas City. In 2020, we get Tom Brenneman letting her rip and quoting Blazing Saddles wrong, which pissed me off so much. I called that, by the way. As soon as that news broke, Jake and I were in Yellowstone, and we did a pod in the car, recorded it, and the whole time I'm like, I bet you that he misquoted Blazing Saddles. 100%. A couple months ago, he came out and said, yeah, I just messed up the quote for Blazing Saddles. It's like, son of a bitch.
I think he was using that as a scapegoat. I think he just heard that before and then just built into his lexicon of this fits my personality.
And that's a deep drive in the left field. So the big question for you that I have about what happened in Kansas City, what was worse? The commentator saying the wrong word for the museum or Dallas Braden's newsboy hat?
What's the newsboy hat?
It's like that hat that comes down to a point, wraps around. It's it looks like it's a baseball cap, but then it folds and snaps.
At first I was thinking about a newspaper, a little bit they fold, and the kids make. I'm like, okay, no, I'm not thinking about the right thing.
But you wear it at a cheeseburger place.
Yeah. You go in the 50s and you start just throwing pennies at people.
You know me, throwing pennies at people in the 50s, making me cheeseburgers.
Yeah, cheeseburger newspaper hats.
Cheeseburger newspaper hats. That is a great band name.
Mm-hmm.
But, no, he was wearing I guess they were Samuel L. Jackson wears them backwards, Kangles.
Okay.
Dallas Braden wears them forward to let you know he's a psychopath.
Oh, yeah. He was the dude next to the guy that dropped the slur, right?
Correct.
Yeah, anyone that looks like their favorite band is the Dropkick Murphys, brace yourself. There's going to be a storm of hate coming.
Hey.
Yeah, I think the whole scene was bad, man.
God.
Yeah, dropping the big bomb there was pretty excruciating. And then the other guy right next to him, you're safe next to me, brother.
You're good.
Don't worry.
Fist bump. All right.
Yeah.
We're going to finish this game.
We're getting out of here?
We got to go?
Shut down?
Okay. They finally were moving to Vegas, so we're not coming? Okay, awesome. That's great. The A's are just the gift of baseball that keeps on giving. That and the Cardinals are still in last place.
That's awesome.
It's so nice.
The catcher position isn't working out for him.
Oh.
That's fun to see.
Oh.
But I guess it's also probably, if you're Yadier Molina, of course, you don't want to see your former team not do well. But when you see somebody in your former position, you kind of want to see how much you were needed. So I think maybe from his perspective, that might be kind of a double-edged sword for him.
Yeah, just a little case of validation. No biggie. He needed it.
Mm-hmm.
And it also solidifies in my mind, not only is Yadier Molina not a Hall of Fame catcher, but boy, howdy, are they dog shit without him.
Yeah.
I mean, hearing some stories like on AJ Brzezinski's pod talking about like, yeah, I caught 1 year with St. Louis and they were asking him about pitching changes and how to do the lineup card. Like he was just like the manager behind the dish. Just like everything ran through Yachty.
You don't think he's going to be a Hall of Famer?
He will. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
There's a big difference. Like, I know he's going to get in. People are like, he's one of the best catchers of all time. But if you look at his offensive metrics as a catcher and his defensive metrics as a catcher, he's not even top 10 in the past 15 years.
Really?
Yes.
Doesn't he have more home runs than Johnny Bench?
I don't think so.
I thought he did.
No, here.
I thought there was some category he has him beat in. But, I mean, just... Whoops, play it.
No, I can't play. I cannot play. I can't play. So last thing we looked up was that Bob Huggins went on Bill Cunningham on 700 and also dropped a slur.
Yeah, there were so many slurs dropped in the past week. We had to pick and choose which ones we could talk about.
We went with the baseball-related one.
Yeah.
God. Well, he called Xavier fans Catholic slur for homosexuals. The F one. The not fun one. They're not all fun. None of them are fun. How about that? How about I backtrack?
Fun slur to say.
The not fun slur to say. I'm pulling up his baseball reference. But yeah, no. I mean, he's still going to make it. But
yeah. Just seeing like how he operated with the Cardinals, it seems like he definitely had a huge influence on the outcomes of their games.
He in 18 seasons, he had 176 home runs. He's worse than you think.
Oh, man, I don't know why I thought he had more home runs than that.
No, he's got a 42.1 WAR over those 18 years, if I'm doing my math right? 2004 plus 18 is 22. Okay. Yeah, no. I can't really find it off the top of my head, but yeah, he no, not great.
Oh, I apologize for even saying that he had more home runs than Johnny Bench there.
It's embarrassing, huh?
Yeah, it is very embarrassing. I hope we don't get any hate from that, but I don't know why. I just thought he had bigger numbers.
I can't believe you said that right in front of his fucking face.
Oh my
god! Oh man. What was I going to say real quick? Oh, yeah. InTheClutch.com. There's a whole bunch of new home run celebration tees up right now. Use the promo code NastyBoys, all caps. Get 10% off. What? 10% off? Do it up. And on Saturday, 5/13, the Cincinnati Reds are debuting their City Connect uniforms.
It'll be exciting.
It's very exciting stuff. So, who knows? Maybe there's going to be some Cincinnati-themed City Connect stuff up there online. So let's talk about these Reds.
Let's do it. Let's delve into it.
Let's delve right into it. It sucked. They won. It sucked. They won 2 games out of 6. They had a 3-spot in San Diego, and then they followed it up with a 3-spot at home against the Chicago White Sox. The first game that they had was in San Diego against the Padres, where it was Tatis's first night back. And he showed very little to no rust coming back. He went 3 for 5.
Yeah, effortlessly. He looked pretty good doing it.
He looked real. Well, it also doesn't help that it was against Luke Weaver for most of those, who is a fine 4-starter at the moment. He is definitely a guy that once you get through that second time through the lineup, you need to pull him.
Yeah, he had some promising stuff, but seeing him go deep in a game, I just don't see that being something to plan on. So, yeah, anticipate the bullpen coming out kind of early when you get a Weaver start there. But, I mean, he had some nice stuff when he was in there, some positive steps forward. But, yeah. Yeah,
and Alex Young finally got, rocked. He got rocked a couple times this week, but he was due. I mean, it was about time that he was going to get shelled. San Martin got shelled. That was his first time back in a couple days as well at that point, but also monster bummer that they didn't take that first one. But as long as you know that you're going into it early, that you're going to early in the game when you look up and you're like, oh, they put up a 2-spot and a 1-spot. Then that 5th inning, they put up that 3-spot. You're like, I think I can turn this off now. But, I'm just fucking around. But, I mean, it's a bummer, but I expected us to only take one in San Diego. And the way that they took it the next night is what's much more important. That next night, you had Graham Ashcraft on the bump, and he went 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 3 Ks. What's important there is length and no home runs.
Girth is important too.
And how veiny it is, how veiny the start is.
Yeah, I mean, if a dog legs left or right, I've just heard some people. That was awesome. Graham Ashcraft is looking great, going deep into a game there. Dude, I love his energy.
And then Alexis Diaz, that was the big one, man. I mean, when you go and you face, to start off Tatis, you follow that with Machado, Soto, and then Cruz, and you shut it down. Massive.
Yeah, that was super impressive. Seeing the bullpen come in there and just step it up. I mean, bam, 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 lights out from Sims, Gerbo, Law, Diaz. It was nice seeing things actually being able to happen in a positive fashion. We're gonna have starter come in, put up some nice innings, and then had the bullpen come in and shut it down.
Yeah, and Alexis Diaz was working into full counts too. Like there were 2 strikeouts, 1 walk. So in a high pressure situation in the bottom of the 10th, and it was like, and then India goes up, drives in. I forget who was on second. I think it was Steer. No, it wasn't. I forget who was at the bottom of that. But it doesn't matter. India goes up, gets the job done, brings in the run. Then Diaz goes out and shuts it down. This is the type of stuff we're talking about when you're looking at development. When you're like, this is the highest leverage situation. Your young guy comes in and he proves, hey, this is mine and I'm taking this job. And not only that, I'm keeping it.
Yeah, you've seen that issues in years past with the Reds when they had those moments of like, hey, this is a big RBI situation and this is a high pressure situation, and not seeing them come through those moments, and now seeing like, hey, even in like, yeah, it might not be the year of the season that you want to see happening unfold, but when you can break it down these moments and see, India pull through in a high leverage situation, that's really good to see.
Yeah, it's super nice. And Diaz, that's awesome, man. That's like, it's like what we've been talking about so far this season, which is this is one of the things you can plant your flag at and say, I know this is going to be like this. This is our guy, our cornerstone moving forward for the next 3 to 4 years, maybe even 5. Like, this is the guy you plant the flag and you go, right, he's the closer, he's here. And this just validated that, and this is the highlight of his career so far, I'd have to say.
Yeah, I think name like a tougher like 1, 2, 3 to go against to shut down a game.
Nobody.
Yeah, that's you can feel good about that.
It's awesome. Hang your hat on it, dude. And that just shows you, man, right direction, not wins. Moments like that where you're like, hell yeah, dude. And then that next game, the Reds lost 7-1, and Luis Cessa goes 3 1/3, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, and boy howdy, he looked bad.
Not looking good. It's a bummer. You don't have a lot of faith when he takes the mound, but he feels the same way. I don't think he has faith in himself. He's not, finding his stuff. And it's a difficult, request to have the Reds win a game when, he takes the ball.
Yeah, no shit. It's crazy, man. Like, we brought him in to be a reliever in 21, and then last year we blew everything up. And then towards the end of the year, he was like, I want to start. And they're like, sure, take a flyer. And he was adequate. Nothing electric, but you're like, man, I really don't think he's a starter. And then again, consistent starts, you're just like, he's not that dude. And he was never in my mind going to be that dude. But the fact that he got this many chances so far into the season is astonishing. But it's a bummer to see him fail. But at the same time, get him out of there. And then they say, hey, we're skipping Cesa's next start. And we'll see what happens and where that goes. And Alex Young got shelled again. San Martin got shelled again. But at that point, when you have to have that long of a bullpen game, never really works out.
No, it puts a lot of pressure on the bullpen. So, it's a bummer, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and the lone run for the Reds came from a Spencer Steer hitting a dinger. Mm-hmm. And then you follow that up. The Reds have the day off on Thursday. They come back Friday, playing the White Sox at home. Hunter Green looked so good until he had to go through that lineup for a third time.
Yeah, it's beginning to be a bit of a bugaboo.
A little bit.
But again, there's more positive than negative there. But yeah, that's something that's he's getting found out a little bit, and then I think losing confidence in a third pitch, and then resulting to just falling back to what's comfortable, which is that fastball. But I mean, when you're able to sit on that, that's what I think when his trouble comes in, and also being a bit erratic.
Yeah, he actually didn't have that many walks. Because he only had one. But he had 7 strikeouts, and the big bugaboo there is the 2 homers. I mean, he walked somebody, someone got a single, and then Luis Robert, or is it Luis Robert? I think he's going by Robert, and I'm just trying to class up his name by saying Robert. Hit that, smoked that over the left center field wall. Very much like, man, like it's either A, he needs to develop that third pitch, or B, you can't let him go back out there for the third time through, especially when it was close, man. At that point, it was 3-0 in the top of the fifth. In the top of the fifth, after the end of that one, they tied it up, and then we came back at the bottom of that inning, and then David threw him back out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of the times you just want to see how he'll respond, and I feel like I've said that a handful of times. I just want to see how they respond. It's like some sort of adversity, but yeah, in these situations, when you can isolate 1 inning, 2 innings, there's that issue going through the lineup a third time. So maybe that should be something to keep an eye on when it is a close game.
Right. I mean, if you look at also his pitch mix, fastball 50% of the time, slider 44.1% of the time, changeup 5.9% of the time, which means either half the time I'm seeing something that's 103 or I'm seeing something that's 91 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be breaking down. Yeah.
I don't know. I do like that it's up above 5% that third pitch. Hopefully, with more consistency, he'll get more comfortable throwing that and be a bit more dominant. Have a bit more north and south, variety with his pitches there. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, that'll change up some of the results he's seeing coming around the third time through the inning.
I hope so. My thing with being there, it was nice to see Lance Lynn, because I saw him on the mound and I was like, if I ever need a jersey that will fit me perfectly,
it's his.
It's Lance Lynn.
Yeah.
He's a beef boy.
Yeah, it looks like his came with the mustard stains.
A lot of mustard stains and a few just beer patch stains.
And the cigarette burns. He doesn't smoke, but he just likes doing it.
He just likes to feel the pain. So, what was really nice, though, India homered. TJ Friel doubled. Offensively, you're looking at this, and it's like you start to see a couple homers pop up, some more doubles. Your offense is getting there. There still isn't the big bop there, but we'll get to more of who's hot and who's not a little later. And then we have Saturday, that's the one they won, and Will Myers came back from the Phantom IL and said, hey, man, maybe you should take a little bit of a break, take your 10 days off, figure your head out. Lodolo again got into trouble. 3 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks. And then right after that, you've got the law firm, Jabot, and Alexis. No earned runs for 5 1/3 innings.
You love seeing that, especially too being a starting pitcher. That hey, if I don't have my best stuff, I know I got a solid bullpen.
Yeah.
So that's got to build confidence.
Yeah, and this is the thing that we talked about at the beginning of the year. I'm like, this is going to be a weakness, and so far it hasn't been it hasn't been too much of a weakness. There's obviously times you're gonna get shelled. Doesn't matter how much you spend on your bullpen, it's gonna happen. And so far, it's been more of a strength than what we thought our starting pitching was going to be. And dude, Nick Lodolo is missing high. He did it again in this start. It's just 1 inch too low when he's trying to go high and inside, and people are turning on it. And when he's not hitting that spot, he's trying to go low and away, and they know he's trying to go there, and they're taking him oppo.
Yeah, he's one of those pitchers where if he can't get his stuff down, to finish below around the shoestrings, he can very easily, can get that ball turned around and throw some velocity behind it.
Yeah. And he doesn't top out at like 98, 99. He can't get away with stuff. He's going 93, 94, which isn't anything to scoff at. That is now average in Major League Baseball, but it's all about location and having that. And right now he doesn't have it. I don't know what it is, if he's not following through right, if his elbow's flying open, or if it's just someone he's not calling the game that he wants to be called. I don't know what it is, but he needs to figure out by his next start so we can have a little bit more confidence and some length.
Yeah, I'm sure too, like just visually how that comes in as a batter, that's got to be, if it starts out a bit higher, I'm sure it's a much easier pitch to like hone in on.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And man, it's so weird. As soon as Hunter signed that extension, just dog shit. It's still dog shit. I don't know, man. I was looking at his pitch mix. On Saturday, he threw his fastball 41.6% of the time with an average of 93.8 miles an hour. He was throwing his sinker 14.3% of the time with a max of 93.7 miles per hour. Sorry, an average of 93.7 miles per hour. His curveball 27.3%. His changeup 16.9%. So he's definitely mixing it up and getting different pitches in there for them to see, but he's not throwing them in the right spots for strikes, because then they are getting taken yard.
Yeah, he's having location issues. So hopefully can have a powwow with the pitching coach there and figure out how to get back on the right path.
Yeah. And you can tell he's throwing up meatballs because he is second in all of Major League Baseball in barrels.
Yeah, the hitters are seeing him.
They're seeing him.
They know he's up there.
They know he's up there. They know he's around. Buddy. We see about 42% of his pitches thrown are hard hit. That's crazy. Or 42nd. Yeah, no, well, let me do that. Yep, 42%. I don't know how to read. I'm not good at it. And then Sunday, do we have to talk about Sunday?
We really don't have to. That was abysmal.
It was awful. 17-4. Ashcraft did not have it at all.
No, it kept getting worse and worse. I was listening to it on the drive home, and I was checking my phone too. I'm like, what is happening? It was just a parade of runners, and that was just one of those games where it was no place to hide. It is not going well.
No, 1 2/3, 6 hits, 8 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, 1 home run. Boy, howdy, that's awful. But, he was, whenever I say someone's due, they're due. But at this point, we're talking about that has to be the worst start of his professional career in the pros or in working his way up the minor leagues.
Yeah, that's probably right. And he's still really young. And of course, this is still, early on in the season. I'm not, expecting anyone to go through this without having, blemishes throughout, their season here, but that was definitely one of the worst. So I don't anticipate that being a thing we see again from him. Hopefully not, but at least see him recover or know what and how to throw certain pitches when he just doesn't have it. Yeah. You're going to have games like that where you aren't feeling it, it's not going well, and learning how to recover and adapt so you don't give it up like that large.
Yeah. And normally he's a guy who pitches to weak contact. And when when you don't have that and you're going to miss by a little bit, or in this case on Sunday, a lot, you're going to get those results, which is such a bummer. But anyway, we're going to move along to who's hot this week. Nick Senzel. He was hot last week, NL Player of the Week. And then in this last 7 games, the guy's 7 for 27, 2 homers, 3 ribs, 4 strikeouts, no stolen base, 259, 286, 481. I think it's safe to say that he likes playing third base.
He's having fun. He's making some plays out there. He's feeling comfortable, looking nice.
It's just that's his natural position. That's where he was drafted. And you can tell he enjoys this. Maybe we should just leave him there.
Yeah, allow him the comfort of knowing, hey, this is your home. You put in enough time here. We got no reason to fish you around in some what can we really make happen with you here?
Yeah, they've already fucked with him enough.
Yeah, let him just be okay, this is your home. You can, don't have to pack your bags, move around the whole, infield and outfield again.
Yeah, you're good here. They've moved him over to second base for a little bit on Sunday, but at that point, it really didn't matter. He could have been Mr. Redlegs running around the States.
He could have been thrown. Yeah, it could have been a mascot. Who cares?
Who cares? TJ Friel, in his last 7 games, 409, 435, 682. But what's even more impressive is if you look at this, like just the last 30, 327, 374, 459. And he's played left, center, and right. So it's versatility combined with average and on-base percentage with speed.
Yeah, he seems unflappable. He's a gamer. He's exciting to see. He definitely changes, the feeling and the atmosphere when he steps into a batter's box.
Yeah. And India's on a heater. 10 for 25, dude. 400, 423, 720. Like, he's on it. And Ray Fraley in the past week, his 18 ABs, he's got 6 hits, a homer, 6 ribs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, almost 1-to-1 on walks and strikeouts. 333, 455, 556. You'll love to see him on fire. He's like what we talked about with, like, he's very Jay Brucian in his streakiness.
Yeah, he'll get hot and he'll get cold. So, yeah, we're getting more familiar with this guy. You like seeing a trend in this direction, though.
Yeah. And Spencer Steer had an okay week. Not great, but mostly 2 home runs. Pretty awesome. Talk about that power. 2 home runs, 6 strikeouts, no walks. 267, 295, 33. That 533 is real nice.
Yeah, he had some nice shots.
Nice shots. Good guy. And he's sticking around at first, which at this point, like, you've got Senzel third. We'll get to shortstop in a second. Second base is India, but you know where I think we should put him. And first, until Joseph Daniel Votto comes back, I feel like that's where Spencer Steer is going to stay.
Yeah, I think there's no real reason to move him. He seems pretty comfortable there, and also too, you don't want to take a bat out of his hands at this point.
No, he's definitely played well enough to not have to fall around. Jesus, I just had a small stroke. He just doesn't need to be. He needs to be permanent. He needs to be staying somewhere and not moving these guys around. It's just like anybody. If you have a schedule and this is what you're doing, you're most successful when you're comfortable.
Yeah, I agree. It's one less thing to think about.
Yeah.
What glove do I gotta pack today?
Yeah, I don't have to worry about which of the 5 I have in my bag.
Right.
Who's not hot? Henry Ramos, who is batting 154, 241, 151. He's got 4 hits and 26 plate appearances in the past week. That was fun that he got called up. 31-year-old prospect. Good for you, but you are not Joey Meneses. It's just not real.
Not hot, Ramos.
Not hot, dude.
Not hot.
Tyler Stevenson, not hot either.
Not hot, Tyler.
Not hot, Tyler. He finally got off the snide, had his first homer of the year.
Yeah, that was good. Got that monkey off his back. That's nice.
That. He's got a homer, but again, 3 hits and 25 plate appearances with 10 strikeouts, 3 walks this week. And Kevin fucking Newman. 6 for 24, 250 across the board, a strikeout and a stolen base. I bring up Kevin Newman because Kevin Newman is 7th worst in baseball according to F4 amongst players with at least 80 ABs. This is by Twitter user TDLO on Reddit. I mean, dude, it's bad. This season, 225, 250, 313 with a walk percentage of 2.4.
Yikes.
Guy's bad with an isolated batting average of .088.
Yeah, that man's ice cold.
Ice cold. Problem you have there is I think this is a guy that they are guaranteed to pay, who plays second, he plays short, you can stick him wherever. But at what point do you have to be like, yeah, we should cut bait?
Yeah, I think it really depends, too, on how the pipeline is looking, of like who's going to be coming up at what time. I'm not quite sure what some of these guys' contracts are looking like, but it's always kind of like that question.
Yeah. And here's the big one. Matt McLain.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what he did.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Tell the people what he did.
He hit a cycle.
He hit for the cycle. Guy hit in a week, 440, 11 ribs, 2 home runs, 1 cycle.
That's pretty awesome. Like, it seems like every day you keep hearing about something new that he did, and he hits a cycle. That's incredible. Congrats. Good job.
Good job. Good job, Matt.
Yeah.
Great on you. He should not be doing that in Louisville. You should be doing that for the Reds.
That would be nice.
It would be nice.
Eventually. Hopefully soon.
Yeah. At this point, you got to ask, have we given Jose Barrero enough time to figure it out?
I mean, you would like to see him be given more time, but for the reality of the situation, I don't think that's something that giving him time shouldn't come at the expense of the other players' time that's behind him.
Yeah.
So I think he was given adequate time for the situation. And if he needs to, be shuffled around, I think bringing up, Matt McLain would be a positive decision for the Reds.
I couldn't agree with you more. He has 366 plate appearances going from 2020 to 2023. And he has a career batting average of 183 and a negative 2.7 WAR. Look, I get it. Like, he was a first round draft pick. You really want to believe in the guy.
Mm-hmm.
But you're running out of places where to put people. And if you're saying Matt McLain is the guy or a guy for the future, well, I know it's only May 8th, but you don't have that much more time to sit on your thumbs and figure it out. This guy's more than ready, and you want to catch him while he's on a heater.
Yeah, and it could be helpful for Barrero maybe to play a new position or figure it out, in AAA.
Yeah. He has options, send him back down.
Yeah, he can really increase what he's doing at the plate. He's definitely made some great strides. But, yeah, I just think there's better places for him in this organization.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Mm-hmm.
C.E.S is mashing. He had 3 home runs on Thursday.
It's crazy.
Just nuts. I love what he's doing. He only has 57 plate appearances, though, in AAA. I think you probably give him a little bit more time because Spencer Steer has played well enough to hold down first base, and it's not going to hurt to have him develop a little bit more down there.
Yeah, I think that'd be great to have that sort of game plan going forward. Don't startle anyone that could be a potential position where he would play. And allow him the opportunity to grow, before he eventually inevitably moves up to the majors.
Yeah, which, again, good problem to have with us even having this conversation about a guy who's on the cusp of getting ready to come up here and do this. But still give him a little bit more time because I was digging a little bit. I was taking a quick little look at his numbers, and in here he has 1 walk to 13 strikeouts so far this year in his 57 appearances. You don't get as lucky in the pros with those type of numbers, with someone who is not looking to get on, but someone who's going to mash, which great, awesome. But you got to be a little bit more selective at the plate there, bud.
Mm-hmm. It seems like he's really chomping at the bit there. But yeah, that's why, hey, give him the opportunity to grow in AAA.
Yeah. And say that if this is the one that you got to fix with your game and give him that assignment to work on, he does it over the next month.
I like that.
See what happens. And who knows where Joey Votto is going to be.
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know. We know that he was at a concert on Friday night.
We do know that.
And I didn't get to see him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm real mad. C.E.S has been moved to the pen. They're skipping his start. So it makes me wonder how they're going to figure out the 40-man to bring up Andrew Abbott.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's time. His last start, he had 5 innings pitched, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, but 1 walk to 9 Ks. Okay, let's pick up the pace here. Let's get him up here. It's time. Don't waste his time. Don't waste our time.
Yeah, come on. We got stuff to do.
We got things.
We got nachos to eat out of helmets. All right?
We got tater tots to eat out of troughs. That's tater tot trough?
Yeah, I got ketchup to drink out of my beer bag.
I got soft serve to eat out of a cleat. So, yeah, it's time. They haven't announced it yet. I don't know. But I think it's time. If you're going to skip Sesa, figure out the 40-man. I know you can make the moves. It's not difficult. You can let Henry Ramos be DFA'd and then go from there. It's not. I'll make the move. I'll call it. How's that sound? Do you want me? Can I call Henry Ramos? Tell me he's going to have a job.
Give it. Here, yeah. You know what? Here.
Yeah, you're going to call him?
People, yeah, we'll call him back after this.
We'll call him back.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good time.
Your bleep blue blops really convincing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's what my phone makes. Yeah. I'm with Cricket.
Go with Cricket.
Yeah.
I got the, what is it? The Shutterfly? Not a Shutterfly. The Jitterbug.
You got the Jitterbug?
Jitterbug.
Okay.
Which Jitterbug. Not a slurb.
It could be.
Could be.
If you say it with hate in your heart.
Oh, no, I got a lot of hate in there.
Yeah.
Coming up, the Reds have a 3-spot at home. Tuesday is Bark in the Park. So if you've ever wanted to see a piss-soaked like a bunch of piss-soaked sod at Great American Ballpark, it's your lucky chance.
Yeah.
It's a 3-spot at home against the Mets. Then they hit the road, and it's 3-spot at the Marlins. Follow that up with 3 at Colorado. So the Mets suck, Dick. That's nice.
Yeah, it's an opportunity. Want to see the Reds pull off some victories here at their home ballpark. And then, the next 2 series after that are pretty doable, too, to get some momentum behind us.
Yeah, dude, if you can go out there and you can take 2 out of 3 from the Mets at home, and then you take 2 out of 3 from the Marlins there, you go 4-2, that puts you 3 games under 500.
Mm-hmm.
You're still flirting with it.
Yeah, take those little victories there. Try to just win these series one at a time.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. But you know how you win more games? You play the better players.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a thought. Just throwing it out there in the universe. So, yeah, let's round third ahead for home. What do you got, pal? What do you got coming up?
I will be, I think, maybe at the Comet coming up, I think, maybe next week or 2 weeks from now.
Right on.
I'll be in Louisville at the Comedy Caravan coming up in like 2 weeks there, I believe on a Wednesday. I will also be at some other place. And then Limestone, like 1st through 3rd of June. I'll post some stuff on my Instagram. Please follow me on there, Chris Weir CW.
Do it. And then, for me, June 1st, Lost and Found comedy showcase is back at Lost and Found. June 1st at 8:30. Come on out. It's a fun show.
Yeah, it is.
It's a good one. Me and old Carl Spaeth run that one.
Oh, maybe.
So, yeah. Thanks to In the Clutch for sponsoring us, and get all your MLBPA shirts, your Savannah Banana shirts, your Negro League Baseball Museum shirts. That's how you say that. And use the promo code NastyBoys, all caps, 10% off. And thanks to Sports Drink for being a coffee shop somewhere. And thank you for joining me.
Absolutely. Anytime, buddy.
Thanks for having me over. Thanks for having me over with the boys.
Yeah. Have you down here in the Weird Fart Dome.
The Fart Dome. There we go. We found the name.
Okay.
So as always, go Red Legs.
Go Red Legs.